Hey, I'm Alex Ratcliffe from Board Game Co., and today I'm talking about the 10 games from my collection, from my unplayed games in my collection, that I most want to play. This is going to be a series of 3 different videos. I don't know which order the videos are going to go up, so I won't speculate on that, but the 3 videos are the 10 games from my unplayed games that I most want to play. That's this video over here. There's going to be 10 games that I want to play that are in Board Game Arena, and then there's going to be 15 games from 2023 that I still haven't played and want to play. And that video is a series of 4 or 5 other videos as well. Now, don't expect in-depth reviews or notes. Some of these games I know more about, some of these games I know less about. Honestly, this video series, these 3 videos, are kind of more for me. This is my New Year's commitment to myself, that between the 3 videos, there are 35 different games that I want to table, and I'm hoping, I plan on doing a recap video at the end of the year, and I'm hoping I get to at least 30 of those 35, although it would be amazing if I got to all 35 of those 35 games. And there's overlap in the categories, but I did keep all the games unique. For example, Darwin's Journey is a game that's going to be in one of the other lists, but could just as easily have been in this video, but I picked and chose where the various games ended up in these videos. To that end, we're going to go through these in order, in reverse order of how much I want to play them, starting off with number 10. You see, number 10 is a game I've had for quite some time. Then again, some of these are new, some of these I've had for a while, but Iwari, specifically the Master Set, Deluxe Master Set, that's not true, why do I call it Iwari? Yedo, the Deluxe Master Set for Yedo over here, is a game that I've been meaning to table for years. For like genuine years, I've had this game. It's a worker placement that, well, it had a general other version of the game. This is the larger Master Set version, and it's a worker placement game set in, I believe, feudal Japan, I want to say, but I could be mistaken about that. But overall, the game production looks amazing. The game ratings are pretty solid. The deluxe version in particular, looks great, but the overall puzzle of worker placement games is one that I enjoy, and one that has a lot of modularity. A deluxe set and well rated is one that I would love to table at some point sooner rather than later. It does have a solo mode, so I could always dive into it that way. But instinctively, games that are meant to be played competitively, I prefer to table them only competitively. Versus a game that's cooperative, I don't mind playing the solo mode, or a game that's true solo, I play solo. And in some cases with competitive games, I'll play solo, but that's usually the exception. So that's our number 10, Yedo over here. Definitely one that has been just sitting there unplayed for way too long and needs to get tabled. Coming in at number 9, we have a newer one to the collection, and that is Battalion War of the Ancients. This is coming to you from Osprey Games, designed by Paolo Mori and Francesco Cerozzi, and I don't know Francesco as well, but Paolo's work in general I've enjoyed. Battalion War of the Ancients is, I believe, a 2 or 4 player game, or is it just 2? It's a 2 or 4 player game, I was correct over here. That's basically going to be a abstracted war game puzzle. Don't know a lot about this one. Again, some of the higher ones I will know more about, but in general, this just looks like the kind of game experience I would enjoy. The combination of the designer, the publisher, the type of game makes me think that this is one that I would have fun diving into, and as a recent addition, it's definitely a little higher on my interest list. There usually is some degree of cult of the new, even just in terms of excitement, where something new shows up and I want to play that more, versus if you fast forward 6 months and this doesn't get played, it may shift down to a lower tier. But right now, I have the rules out, I am partially through them, and I need to learn them, and I'm hoping I'll be able to play this one sooner rather than later, especially because it's a newer... there's a problem in general where once a game kind of goes on the shelf and just sits there for a long time, it kind of gets mentally demoted. Honestly, the fact that Yedo is here, and some others, is just a testament to how much I want to play those games, and just happen to have not done so yet. Versus newer stuff, I kind of want to get them played as soon as possible, before they fall into that eternal pit of, well, not getting played for years. Coming in at number 8, we have a game that I had a slight misslip, a slip of the tongue, when I said Iwari. Iwari, the Deluxe Edition from Thunderbolt Games, is one that I've wanted to table ever since I heard friends talking about this game, and how much they enjoyed both the visual presentation of it, but also the gameplay of it. Now, I couldn't tell you, for the life of me, what the gameplay is like. In fact, I think from the rest of the games, well, there's still a few that I don't know enough about, but Iwari over here, the game production looks beautiful. I have the deluxe set over here. It's one that I've wanted to table. It looks like one of those games that's kind of elegant, almost abstractish in its implementation, while not being an abstract puzzle. So the combination of all of that just has this one that I specifically picked this up. It's only a 45-minute game, it's supposedly, according to the box that is. But I specifically picked this up because I heard friends gush about it, combined with a pretty decent Board Game Geek rating, not necessarily the best one, but a good enough rating, designed by Michael Schacht. It's one that I definitely, well, it's here for a reason. It's on this list for a reason, and I would love to get to play this year if I can. Coming in at number 7, we have another newer one, and this is Undaunted 2200 Callisto. Honestly, these two are the only older ones. The rest are kind of in the newer genre. Well, there's one more that's older, but not necessarily older to me, but older in general. We'll talk about it soon. But Undaunted 2200 Callisto is one that, again, I got partially through the rules, did not finish the rules yet, and have been meaning to table this ever since I got it. But I like the general deck building system that Undaunted has. It's a system that's been in War Chest, a system that's in Dire Alliance, not that that's arrived yet, but designed by David Thompson and Trevor Benjamin. It's deck building. It's deck building and trying to manage your army through that deck building and trying to figure out the best way to use that system. Again, both War Chest and Undaunted are incredibly popular lines of games. For me, the theme of Undaunted 2200 has me much more interested than the theme of the more modern World Wars of the typical Undaunted games, and so for that reason, this has the gameplay that I enjoy with a better theme, and because of that, it's been one I've been trying to table, well, since I got it. The game looks great, the presentation looks great, I love the more sci-fi approach to it compared to the original Undaunted games. It has a solo mode as well, you can dive into in a solo campaign and all that. I don't know if campaign or scenarios, I have to take a look, but overall, the Undaunted system with a better theme, established designers, another Osprey pick over here. We got 2 picks from Osprey on the table. Just 2? Yeah, just 2 picks from Osprey over here. This is one that I would love to table, again, sooner rather than later, although honestly that's going to be true for all 35 of these games. 35, 10 in this video, and the 25 in the other videos. Coming in at number 6 is one that I know very little about, but I know a lot about the publisher and the world, which is Castellans. It's a Valeria game called Castellans, in the Valeria universe, coming to you from Daily Magic Games. I love Valeria Card Kingdoms, and I've generally enjoyed every Valeria game that most Valeria games that I've played. Some of the earlier ones, Villagers and Guilds, I think were not quite as good. They were still fun, but they weren't memorable. But most Valeria games I've enjoyed to certain extents, and Valeria Card Kingdoms is one that I very much enjoy, keep around, and, well, think it's an excellent game. Castellans, I don't know a thing about, unfortunately. I don't know a lot about this. I saw it when it was on crowdfunding. I loosely looked into it. The gameplay itself, though, don't know much about. But because it's in the Valeria universe, it's one that I want to table. And so it's on this list because I want to play the game, and so that's why this one's here. That's going to be Castellans, our number 6. Coming in at number 5 is the other older title, but not older to me. And that's Shadows of Kilforth, or honestly, any game in this series. I have to take a look at which one the best to start with is. In the last crowdfunding campaign for the Kilforth universe, I went all in on everything because I've heard so many good things about this game. And recently I did a podcast with Candace Harris from BGG talking about adventure games, and that made me remember that I really need to table this game. It's a game that plays well, incredibly well solo, plays well at multiple players as well. I think 2 and 1 are the best player counts, if not mistaken. But it gives you a solo kind of abstracted dungeon crawler-esque. You have this kind of grid of cards over here that you're going through with your characters as you power them up. The Kilforth series in general is incredibly well rated. Like, they're very, very highly rated games, and I just have to check for myself whether it's better to start from the first one or a different one as I dive into this universe. Honestly, going all in was probably overkill, but I've heard so much good things about this game that I was like, I have to give that a shot, and so I did. Possibly overkill. Definitely possibly overkill. I'm happy I have the game. I don't know if I needed to go all in on the entire system. Like, Zombicide's a good example. As much as I love Zombicide, I don't have all the original Zombicide. I have the Zombicides that work for me. You can love a game and not need everything in the genre. This is a lesson I am learning slowly but surely. I don't know if I'll ever fully learn it. Sometimes the heart wants what the heart wants, and at the time of this crowdfunding campaign, the heart wanted Shadows of Kilforth, so that's going to be my number 5. My number 4 is very recent, arguably the second most recent one I have over here, and that is Civolution. Civolution from Pegasus Bill, and then more importantly, from Stefan Feld. And I've heard so much buzz about this game from people who've had the opportunity to table it since it's arrived. Again, this is a very recent one. It's a 2024 title, but it just showed up over here. I've heard good things about the game. I've heard the rules can be a lot to dive into. The solo mode I've seen mixed opinions on, but honestly, I'm not here for the solo mode, so I don't know if that matters to me. But I would love to table this complex strategy game from Pegasus Bill because I like Stefan Feld, and I like his games, and I don't know if I've ever played. I'm talking about the Valeria universe and how I generally enjoy those games. I almost always enjoy Stefan Feld games. Some more so than others. Yes, that part is true. But like some of his games are multiple of his games. I think 3 of his games, if I'm not mistaken, are my top 100 games of all time. And that is certainly a testament to both his designs as well as how those designs mesh with my personal playstyles and preferences. That's going to be Civolution. I really want to table this one. Honestly, I'm having a little second thoughts. I think the only reason this is number 4 is because the rulebook is longer, and so my interest in diving through that and powering through that is a little lower than some of the others, which we'll talk about soon. Coming in at number 3, we have Hamburg, another Stefan Feld game over here. And this one's partially cheating because I love Bruges already, and Hamburg is based on Bruges. It is the Queen City Collection, Queen Games Stefan Feld City Collection version of Bruges. And because of that, I want to table this game. Now, for the most part, I counted unplayed games only. Even there were some, for example, Rise and Fall is a great example of a game I would love to table, but I played the prototype, so I'm not counting that one. Versus Hamburg, I played Bruges. Technically, it's a different game. I do have this on the list. This is one that I want to get tabled. I love Bruges. It is one of my favorites. It's my second favorite Stefan Feld game. It's an incredible design that I am always happy to play whenever I have a chance to do so. And Hamburg is the newer version of that, which means I have to try it. I don't have to love it. I don't have to keep it. I might revert to Bruges, but I have to at least see which one is better for me. Because as much as I talked about Zombicide and how you don't need all of it, if you do have a system that you love, spending time finding out which one is the best version for you in that system, that is certainly something worth doing. And so Hamburg is high up on my list to table and play as soon as I possibly can. My number 2 is the newest game that is currently in my collection. The newest to me, this one I only just recently got at PAX Unplugged, and that is Seti from CGE. I have already learned how to play this, which means I should hopefully table it soon, he optimistically says, knowing that's not exactly how that works. But I have learned how to play Seti already, specifically to dive into it as soon as I can. I don't know when that will happen exactly, because I'm currently, as of the time of this filming, I'm in the middle of Iridia, the Passreader Tread, I'm in the middle of Clank, I'm in the middle of Primal, I'm in the middle of Tenaris Adventures, I'm in the middle of way too many games that getting in all the games I want to is always a challenge. But it's an enjoyable challenge, and one that when I do get to table those fun games, I just recently played Coimbra again. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. It's just, games are a delight. There's a reason I do what I do. There's a reason you're here watching this video. At this point, watching, 15 minutes into a video about what somebody else wants to play, we're all a little obsessed over here. And Seti looks gorgeous. I've heard great things about the game. It's been on a bunch of top 10 lists already for 2024. I did not get to table it in time for a top 10s of 2024, but that is also why I do a full series of looking back a year later at the list to see how they fare, how they hold up. Every year at the beginning of the year, in 2025, I'm going to be looking back at 2023 and checking out my top 15 games there, revised with the year under my belt. And so we'll see whether Seti makes that list for 2026 look back at 2024, but at the very least, it's here right now as my second most want to play game from the games currently in my collection. And then the last one is easily the game I most want to play at this time, which is, oh my gosh, Minos, the Bronze Age. Coming to you from Stan Kodonsky and Board and Dice over here. This is a Euro game from Stan Kodonsky, who in general, again, another designer who I almost always enjoy everything he puts out. And some of his games are, oh my gosh, like Endless Winter is an incredible Euro game. Rurik is in my top 10. Was it my top 10 or was it 11? I think it was my 11 game of all time this year, and it's consistently been in the top 20. And Minos specifically is based on the same system that makes Rurik the incredible game that it is. Minos takes that core system, the kind of worker pushing system where you kind of have to order your priority of your actions as well as the strength of the action, and then it applies that to this Euro game, which means if you have a game that's my number 11 game of all time, and you say, hey, we're taking that system and applying it to a different game entirely. This is not like a version of Rurik, similar to the way Hamburg is a version of Bruges. Rather, this is a completely on its own game that just uses a system that I've learned to love. So I'm very excited to dive into this one. I'm hoping it gets tabled sooner rather than later, but then again, that is probably true with all of the 10 games on this table. And that's what we have over here. What I'm curious from you is if you've played these games, which of these games should I dive into first in your opinion? It will have a little bit of a bearing on what I actually do because I want to play these games, and frankly, I'm going to be diving into them as soon as I possibly can, make my way through the rules, get them tabled, get a group together, or in some cases play solo, Shadows of Kilforth. I'm looking at you over here. But in any case, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. Make sure to go ahead and check out the other videos that I'll be doing on the games I want to play. These are my New Year's resolutions to myself, and then possibly things to just tempt you into looking more into these games and seeing if they're games that you want to find out more about for yourself as well. In any case, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. And as always, I hope you have a good one.